It's great to see everyone. We just had a 2-day family conference with 32 families, and I've never felt so inspired, hopeful, and joyful in my life. So I'm grateful for everyone here tonight. So many of you have been to every Natalie's Wish event, and we're thankful and grateful to you for supporting us all these years. The Cystinosis Research Foundation's mission is well-defined: find better treatments and a cure for cystinosis. Tonight, we celebrate the milestones we have attained and the discoveries we have funded. Every person in this room has changed the course of a rare disease called cystinosis. In 2003, when we first began, there was an absence of research. But today, because of your commitment, there is a thriving scientific community dedicated to our children. 19 years ago, our daughter Natalie was diagnosed with cystinosis. Cystinosis is slowly destroying every organ in her body, including her liver, kidneys, eyes, muscles, thyroid, and brain. There is a medicine that prolongs her life, but it's not a cure. As children with cystinosis live into adulthood, more complications occur, including muscle wasting, neurological issues, and for some, blindness. The powerful medication used to treat cystinosis causes daily and painful side effects, and it must be taken every 6 hours, every day, just to stay alive. Most children and adults with cystinosis take between 8 to 12 different medications every day. There are no days off with cystinosis. One might think that having cystinosis means a life of hopelessness and despair, but that would be inaccurate. Are there days of sadness and fear about what tomorrow might bring? Yes, there are days that are almost unbearable. It is difficult as parents to watch our children as they struggle daily with the myriad of cystinosis symptoms and treatments: G-tube feedings, blood draws, eye pain, hospital stays, daily vomiting and other gastrointestinal side effects, hourly eye drops. In general, our children are in a state of chronic discomfort. If there is any word, however, that defines our children and those with cystinosis, it's resiliency. They have the ability to rise above the daily challenges of cystinosis and thrive. The Cystinosis Research Foundation is an astonishing story of what is possible when a group of caring and compassionate friends and family respond to a little girl's wish to have my disease go away forever. You have joined us on our journey to find a cure, and we are extraordinarily thankful. And what a journey we are on. In 2003, cystinosis research was essentially non-existent, and multi-year studies were unheard of. Today, you have funded over 78 multi-year research studies. You have supported the first Cystinosis Research Fellowship Program. You are funding top researchers at world-renowned institutions, and you have created a dynamic, synergistic, ongoing cycle of research. Since 2003, you have funded $11.8 million in cystinosis research, and your donations have generated and resulted in new scientific discoveries and novel therapies. The Foundation's most significant accomplishment to date has been our role in funding the research that led to the development of the delayed-release medication. Raptor Pharmaceuticals is now completing the final phases of the FDA clinical trials, which means that FDA approval should be granted next year. It is heartwarming to know that since last year, over 40 children are now taking the delayed-release medication. So because of that medication, there are now 40 children sleeping through the night for the very first time in their lives. For this community, the delayed-release medication is the closest thing we have to a cure. Thank you for supporting every single bench and clinical research study that was necessary to bring the delayed-release drug to FDA clinical trial. There is a much bigger picture, too. Discoveries made by CRF-funded researchers have helped advance potential treatments for more prevalent and well-known diseases and disorders. For example, the medication our children take is being used in clinical trials for Huntington's disease, Batten's disease, Parkinson's disease, and NASH, a progressive liver disease. Your support and the resulting research have extended far beyond the cystinosis community. And now, the news on finding the cure. Dr. Stephanie Shirky and her colleagues at the Scripps Research Institute have been working diligently to find a cure for cystinosis using gene and stem cell therapy. Dr. Shirky has had amazing research results. Using cystinosis mouse models, Dr. Shirky was able to reverse cystinosis in mice using bone marrow stem cell transplantation. After the mice were transplanted, every single organ in the cystinosis mouse saw a reversal of cystinosis. And thank you. Her research discoveries continue to amass as she moves us closer to the first stem cell clinical trial. The CRF Gene Therapy Consortium, led by Dr. Shirky, is in the final stages of drafting the protocol for this first stem cell transplant at UCLA. There are more steps to take, but we are clearly on our way. Her research has contributed to the advancement of cystinosis research, as well as other genetic diseases with systemic defects similar to cystinosis. Natalie turned 20 in February, and we flew to DC to celebrate her birthday. It was really a good excuse for a mom to see her child, and I was really desperate for my Natalie fix. We had some time alone together and found ourselves talking about school and friends and just how nice it was to be able to celebrate with her. She seemed a bit quiet and reserved, and I asked if she had something on her mind. Tears began to flow, and she replied, "A lot of people with cystinosis die in their 20s. It was a bittersweet moment for this mother and her child. I tried to give my cheerleader speech, but was shushed by her, because sometimes there are no words, and sometimes there are no answers. Birthdays, usually a time for celebration, have another meaning when you are living with a chronic progressive disease that currently has no cure. Fear can cause uncertainty, and at times it's easy to lose hope. But you, all of you here tonight, have lifted us up. You've given us hope, and you are our saving graces. There are days of sadness and days when the future seems uncertain. But then we stop and think about how far we've come, and we are reassured that the future is bright. The reality is, without cystinosis research, we would have no hope. Hope means things are possible. And in the case of cystinosis, better treatments are not only possible, they are a reality today. A cure for cystinosis is possible because of research. You have helped us to erase fear, and in its place, given us hope. Hope has allowed us to dream of a future free from cystinosis. Like the other children and adults with cystinosis, Natalie is the ultimate example of courage, determination, and fortitude. Because of her indomitable spirit, she has not let cystinosis define her. It is Natalie's resiliency and her will to live and fight that focuses my purpose and reminds me of how blessed I truly am. We are humbled by your presence in our lives, and we are empowered by your belief in us and our mission. Tonight, surrounded by your love and unwavering support, there is no doubt that Natalie and the other children and adults with cystinosis have a realistic chance to outlive their parents. We have reached milestones, and we are on the brink of new possibilities. We remain laser-focused on research and the cure. Thank you for giving this community and other rare disease communities who will benefit from our research the gift of another day. The promise of a potential cure is the result of your passion and commitment to our children, and for that we are eternally grateful. On behalf of all the families here tonight and all the families with cystinosis around the world, thank you for your friendship and your love and for joining us in our quest for the cure. Thank you, everyone.